Hello again, everybody. This is Rocket Rick J18, and welcome to the launching pad. Today, I've got some big cards to show you. And of course, you might recall that the last time I had some big cards to show you, they actually were big cards. Um, Physically big, that is to say. Uh, and let's just start taking a look at them. I've got five Hall of Famers to show you, and one guy who is, I think, really was a very underrated pitcher. Maybe not World Series, or maybe not Hall of Fame uh, statistics, uh, he did play in one All Star game, and he also played in two World Series. And in one of those World Series in 1932, he had two strikeouts. A couple of guys you might know, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. So if you're only going to get two strikeouts in a World Series, those are two pretty good guys to get struck out. Um, he also won two games in the 1935 World Series. So he had some success. He had a no hitter. He was 193 and 121. Not quite sure why it's jumping around like that, but apologize. Had an career earned run average of 318. He won 20 games in three separate seasons. At lifetime, he had 1,140 strikeouts against 739 walks, and he also pitched 31 shutouts. Um, One interesting thing about Lon Warnke is that he is one of several uh, people who both played in Major League Baseball and umpired in Major League Baseball. But he's the only one to have done both in both the All-Star Game and the World Series. On August 30th, 1941, he pitched a no-hitter against Cincinnati. So if you want to look at, he's got some nice cards. He has a 33 Goudey card. He's got some play ball cards and, other pretty nice cards. And he also has a 1955 Bowman card as an umpire. And he looks pretty serious, too. I recommend that you take a look at that card. So, with that in mind, let's turn the camera down. Our adjustments that we always have to make, I'm sorry to say. So, the first card I have to show you is a 1936 Goudey in the standard catalog, American card catalog. It was assigned the catalog number R312. Okay, there we go. So the first guy up is Paul Wainer, Big Poison. Paul Wainer is a Hall of Famer. Spent most of his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and a superlative player. Had over 3,000 hits in his career, and so all of these cards were issued in 1936. Five of them are Goudey premiums. And the other card is a National Chicle premium. And it is letter and number R312, a Pastel, issued in 1936. And so let's take another look at some of these cards. So we got Paul Wainer in there, and also Chuck Klein, another Hall of Famer. Chuck Klein with the Cubs, and he's pictured here with the Cubs, but he also did most of his damage as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. In this Goudey wide pen premiums, you can see why they got the nickname wide pens, because of the width of their the pen that they used to sign these cards. So here's two more Hall of Famers, Lefty Gomez and Ducky Medwick. And I think that there also were some were the National Chicle fine pens, but none of those are involved in these cards. And as you can see, Ducky Medwick was the last player in the National League to win the Triple Crown. Did that in 1937. So it's been nearly 90 years since a National Leaguer won the Triple Crown. Lefty Gomez, of course, was a stalwart pitcher for the New York Yankees during the time of Joe DiMaggio, coming down to the end of the career of Lou Gehrig. Ducky Medwick has the distinction of having been removed from a World Series game when the fans became so unruly they were afraid he would get hurt. The umpires were afraid he would get hurt. So that's kind of cool. And here's Lon Warnicki, we talked about. He is pictured here as a Chicago Cub, but he also did a lot of his work as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. And I just think these cards are really fascinating. There's about 200 of them in the set. Trading card database lists these as R314. Lists these as R314s. That makes them Goudeys. But this card is a National Chicle, and you can see that it's a pastel, and why it's called that. These were black and white photographs that were tinted to add color to them. And so we'll just there we go. So this is in an SGC authentic. No chance of it getting a higher grade. This down here is paper loss in the corner and along the nearby one edge. You'll note that the facsimile autograph is incorrectly spells DiMaggio. But this is a 1936 issue, and Joe was a rookie in 1936. These pastels, I think people are going to get behind these and really, uh, I think, do some good with them. I think that they deserve to get a lot more recognition. And so, like I said, started to say, maybe I finished my thought, maybe I didn't. Doesn't really matter. But uh, these Goudey cards, 1936, they're obviously all pre-war. Joe was one of those players who crossed over from pre-war into post-war, although he did uh, most of his great years were before the war, and then, of course, like Ted Williams, Joe lost parts of 3 to 4 seasons in the military during World War II. Um, I just think these are fascinating cards. I think they are really interesting. This is my first R312, and I'm really delighted to have it. So I hope you enjoy these cards. I hope you uh, maybe get inspired to pick one or two up. There's a lot of players uh, that you could get in either one of these two sets, everywhere from just uh, ordinary journeymen to Hall of Famers to the greatest of their time and maybe the greatest of all time. Uh, One of the interesting facts about Joe DiMaggio is that he played in 10 World Series and was on the winning team 9 of those 10 times. Um, Obviously, everybody knows about his 56 game hitting streak, a record that will probably never be matched. It would take some really good luck to do that. And the other thing that I think is really interesting about Joe DiMaggio is that he had 361 career home runs and 369 strikeouts. So he almost hit a home run for every strikeout that he had. Now, if you want to talk about Babe Ruth or Mickey Mantle or, he had a lot of strikeouts. Mickey Mantle did as compared to Joe DiMaggio. Um, just a fascinating statistic. Um, so that's what I have to show you. I hope you enjoyed these cards. You don't see them all that often. They're really very thin paper stock. You can kind of see here. I'm just going to not flex them too much, but it doesn't hurt them. Believe me. This is being wider and already in uh, difficult condition. Uh, you have to handle these if you're going to handle them not already slabbed with great delicacy and care because they are very fragile. And you can see, just I don't know how that happened. Obviously, it was done before I got the card, but it probably just could have just dried out. As this paper has becomes sort of crispy when it gets dry. So yeah, let's jump back to the main talking head screen, and that's what I have to show you today. I hope you liked them. I enjoy them. I really do, and I like to look at them and think about these players and learn about a new player that I didn't know about much before. Found out he was pretty good too. Uh, and of course, 5 Hall of Fame players. So I don't often get to show 5 Hall of Fame players spotlighted in one video. But here we have it. Um, Pretty exciting. So, with that in mind, this is Rocket Rick J18 from the launching pad saying, I hope all your collecting dreams come true.